John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and today I'm going to share some of my favorite citrus and pomegranate juicers in the whole world, and I'm going to make a cool recipe for you that I came up with actually the other day. So the juicers that we're going to use today are these guys. It's actually called the Jupiter Commercial Citrus Press, and over on this side we have the Olympus, like Mount Olympus, Olympus Commercial Citrus Press. Now these guys, they use the exact same stainless steel cone and strainer. So they got the strainer in here, 100% stainless, and the funnel here, 100% stainless. And they're identical on both. The only other difference on these guys, as you guys can see, are the size. So this guy's a bit shorter. You're not going to get as much leverage on it when you pull the handle down. That's alright, because still it puts out plenty of pressure to squeeze all the juice and squeeze the bejeebies out of pomegranates too. The only other major difference is just the heavy dutiness of it. This one's actually lighter. The base is a little bit thinner. The base is a little bit thicker over on this side. And the final thing that's probably the main factor for me is that, when I'm juicing citrus fruits or pomegranates, I don't want to just juice a little bit, man. I want to juice a lot. So in the standard Jupiter, you could fit like a small 16-ounce, like this is just a standard jar underneath it, like one that nut butters would come in. That'll fit underneath there fairly nicely. And on the taller one, you could actually fit a nice 24-ounce container. And this is just a standard ball, wide mouth, 24-ounce container underneath. Or actually, you could even fit a 32-ounce mason jar in the Olympus. So you could juice literally double the amount without having to swap out your little container there. So I like that a lot. We're going to be using the 24-ounce. I like this size a lot actually because I just end up drinking out of it. And these are my #1 top picks for handheld manual citrus press style juicer. I've checked like most all of them out in the market. Some of them have actually little winching systems that have gears that spin. I don't particularly care for those. I find that the gears break oftentimes, and some of the ones that they have are actually plated metal, and I find that the steel on those guys are kind of thin and with use can break. These guys are nice, heavy duty, and actually quite heavy at that. Always when storing your juicer, you want to store it with the handle down. Let me tell you, I've learned the hard way because I stored it with the handle up, and you knock the handle, boom, this thing will come and hit you on the head. Not a fun idea. So always store your juicer with the handle down. Another thing that may be important for you, some of you guys that you're going to store this on your counter. This sits on my kitchen counter year round, no matter what time of year it is. Now this one is too tall. It will not actually fit underneath your countertops if you want to slide it all the way to the back, whereas the smaller guy will. So that might be important for you. For me, it's more about the size and how much juice it could hold overall. Other than that, these work great to extract juice from things like oranges, lemons, actually Meyer lemons, and what we're going to juice today is actually these guys. These guys are actually called sweet limes. So don't confuse these with your standard green limes or even lemons, which they kind of look like. These are sweet limes, and I'm making a recipe today with the sweet limes and the pomegranates. And the sweet limes basically have a no acid flavor. A lot of citrus fruits taste acidy, like they got that citric acid in there. This has, if they're ripe, has no acidity in there. A very faint hint of sweetness with a nice citrus flavor. And it's quite good actually, but alone it's decent. It almost reminds me of just drinking a real water with lemon in it. But once again, there's no bitterness. It's a sweet lime. And these may be available at local Mexican or ethnic markets near you, Persian markets, Mexican markets. They're quite uncommon, so most places will not have them. Plus, they're only in season, in the winter time. They're coming out of Southern California. So we're going to mix the sweet limes that have a really cool flavor with one of my favorite high antioxidant fruits, the pomegranate. Now many of you guys always ask, John, what's the best juicer for pomegranates? Well, if you want a quick and easy and dirty way to juice pomegranates, these are the best guys. I like these presses. No other brand will do. There are knockoffs now of these guys, which is really sad. They may look similar, but they don't function similar. I've tried many of them. They come apart, they fall apart, and they're not made of 100% stainless on the cone area, which is really important in my opinion. So simply all we're going to do today is we're going to combine the pomegranate with the sweet lime juice. And let me go ahead and show you guys how easy it is. First, we're going to go ahead and set that guy up. And now we're going to go ahead and take a sweet lime, just literally cut this guy in half. And that's what it looks like on the inside. You know, it's nice and yellow. There's no green tinge or nothing like that. Now, if you can't get sweet limes, don't worry. You know, I have also done this recipe many times with just the standard Valencia oranges. So I do Valencia oranges and the pomegranate. Now we're doing the sweet limes. So we're just going to go ahead and press the sweet lime juice out. As you guys can see, here's a dry lime that's been juiced, oops, and here's a wet one. A lot of juice came out. So it's very simple, very easy just to come down on this and juice it up. Now one of the things you might want to be concerned about when purchasing any citrus juice in the Olympus or Jupiter citrus presses is that you want to get nice fresh produce. Produce that's old, you know, and kind of getting light. Like when you're picking produce out the store, you want to pick heavy citrus. Don't pick ones that are light for its size. Pick heavy ones, that means they got more juice in there. If they're getting light, they're getting kind of more mealy, and they don't have as much juice in there, and this is just not going to juice as well. In addition, if you're juicing oranges, you want to ensure that you're juicing Valencia oranges and not the navels. The navels don't juice quite as well either. They're not quite as juicy, and they have a more fibrous consistency to them. So as you guys can see here, just with a few simple sweet limes, we almost got half of our little container here filled with the sweet lime juice. Next we're going to go for a pomegranate. So to juice the pomegranate, I normally like to just cut off the little butt end. That's the opposite side of the stem. Just cut a little section off just like that. Make it nice and flat, and then we're just going to take it and we're just going to go ahead and one slice, quick and easy, right in half. And check it out, there's a nice, rich, dark red pomegranate. Now one of the tips I want to give you guys is when picking a pomegranate out, you always want to pick the darkest pomegranate out you can. The darker the pomegranate on the outside, the darker the seeds are on the inside. And the darker the seeds are on the inside means there's more antioxidants and more nutrition in there for you. So man, these guys are just dripping of juice. We're going to go ahead and put this guy down right in there, centered on the center part there. Then we're just going to go ahead and bring this handle down and check it out. You guys can see the pomegranate juice coming out in to my sweet lime juice. As you guys can see, it's getting it quite dry. I think we'll get it on there and really cram this guy down. Alright, so normally I actually use my Olympus. This is my own Olympus that I use, and I've noticed when juicing pomegranates, you get a little bit better leverage on the Olympus. So if you really want to juice a lot of poms, I definitely would encourage you to get the Olympus. Let's go ahead and put one more pom on there. Now one of the things you want to be concerned about when you come all the way down on the downstroke, if you go all the way down to max it out, it basically kind of sometimes will lock into place, and then you have to kind of lift it up. Now when you do this, you're pressing out all the juice, which is good, but you're also going to press out some of the bitter rind oils. So this may or may not be good for you. Sometimes when I'm juicing, you know, I won't go down all the way that I could and show that I'm a man, but I'll just go down most of the way because I don't want the bitter rind oils. This is especially important when juicing, you know, citrus and whatnot. With the pomegranates, it does give it more bitter if you kind of get more of the rind oils in there. As you guys can see, we're about 3/4 of the way filled up. We're just going to go ahead now and just juice a few more of these sweet limes. So this is a nice and delicious, refreshing drink. I mean, one of the stories I want to tell you guys is really funny. I had a friend once, and they're like, oh yeah, I drink pom juice all the time. That's that pomegranate juice from the store, right? And they drink that straight all the time. And my friend's like, yeah, I could drink straight pomegranate juice. I mean, I don't know about you, but straight pomegranate juice, I call that stuff pucker juice, man. You drink straight pomegranate juice, you're like, it's like a dog eating peanut butter. Like that. And it's like, it's really strong. So like, while you could make straight pomegranate juice and drink it up, which would probably be a good thing, I like to just dilute it a lot. And my favorite thing to dilute it with at this time is the sweet limes. It means nice, really mild, delicious flavor. So as you guys can see, as I'm taking these guys out, sometimes I'll squeeze a little bit more, and it squeezes out very little extra juice out of the sweet limes. I think all we need is one more, and we'll have a nice 16-ounce juice to drink. Alright, last one. Nothing could be simpler than just pressing this guy down making your own fresh citrus juice at home. Now I want to encourage you guys, to drink fresh juices. Fresh juices are not the same as things that are in packages, bottles, and jars, and Donald Duck orange juice and whatnot. Fresh juices are much better. Fresh fruits have a lot more nutrition in them than any kind of processed food that's been, put in a package and pasteurized and all this kind of stuff. You lose nutrition when you start doing that. Now, yes, it's better to have a bottled pasteurized juice than a soda, but even better than a bottled pasteurized juice is making your own fresh. Plus, I've never seen sweet lime juice sold anywhere, so if you want some of these things, you literally gotta juice it yourself. One of my favorite creations is actually juicing blood oranges with some Valencia oranges. The Valencia oranges give it a nice sweetness. The blood oranges, once again, will give it a nice color, like the pomegranate sweet lime juice we did today. Now, when I'm done juicing, I always like to spin the top here. It'll help get some juice out. I'll then lift this up kind of at an angle so I don't really drip anywhere, because there will be a little bit leftover juice in there. Then I'll move this up and just kind of shake it around a little bit to get some of that extra juice out. And now we could clean this guy. This was one of the simplest and easy juicers to clean. There's basically 2 parts here to clean, and then I'll take a wet sponge and wipe underneath here. And look at that. Just in just a few minutes, we've created a delicious pomegranate sweet lime juice. Delicioso. I love this stuff so much. It has a sweet lime, which is not as sweet as the orange, but no acidity, and the high antioxidant goodness of the pomegranate and all its polyphenols. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode learning more about the Jupiter and Olympus citrus presses. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and I'm excited today to be doing another juice off where you guys are going to get to see 2 juicers compared side by side juicing the same exact amount of produce.